problems. Good morning, class. So at this point in our lives, we are busy with analytical geometry. And the analytical geometry, I think we're on the last lesson today of something new. And then thereafter, you have the assignment for Tuesday. Okay, I hand in assignment for Tuesday. I'll give you a reference to the page now. Which page are we on? 160 something. Huh? 197. Sorry? 197. No, we're not on 160 something. Okay, so your homework was exercise 2. I gave you a few sums to do there. The homework for Tuesday. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, no? Thursday we're going to do trees. That assignment that you had to hand in. Okay? Then on next week, Tuesday, since Friday is holiday and Monday, the Tuesday. This is the hand-in assignment, revision test topic 9. And it's on page 198. Okay. Again, as we did with this assignment, you mark it and you circle the ones you got wrong, and then when we do it on the board, you can just highlight which questions you want me to do on the board, as we did in the past. Okay. So today's lesson is on the last part of the determining the equation of the tangent. Yesterday we got through examples, worked example 2 and 3. Correct? We haven't done example 4 yet. Is that correct? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first do example 4 and 5, and then we're going to look at the sums that you had problems with of the homework of yesterday. Is that okay? Alright. So it might be that there's something in example 4 that answers the problem you had with the homework. Okay. Yes? You can do anything you want to do, Michael. Okay, this is example 4 on page 194. And Tuesday we will be doing our 3D problems for trigonometry. Okay, 3D problems. So by Tuesday, your prep for those, for that lesson needs to be done. Okay, which is going through the grade 11 work. That you guys showed no clue of what is happening. Okay. If you don't know it this time, you're just going to skip the topic. It's worth 10 marks in paper 2. Okay. So I don't think 10 marks is a lot for you guys, isn't it? Example 4, page 194. No? Yes. At least one person is here today. I'm not going to go completely crazy. Right, here we go. It's given circle x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 10y equals 7. With tangent PQ touches the circle at point P. If Q is 8 and 3, determine the length of PQ. Okay. So what is the first thing you think we're going to do here with regards to this question? Find the center and find the radius. Always when the circle is given in that form, you go for those things first. Otherwise, if it's given in the standard or the general form, no, that is general form. If you're given in the form of x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared, then from there we can extract easily the center and the radius. Not so? So get that in the form quickly of a minus x all squared plus y minus b all squared equal to r squared. Alright, what do we have? X squared minus 4x plus y squared plus 10y is equal to 7. You all agree with that? First get it in the form so that we can complete the square root. So what number gets added here to complete the square root? Would be the same number add on the other side. And what is the number here? 2 squared, which is 4, and here 5 squared, which is 20. So there we got a perfect square trinomial there as well. So this gives us x minus 2 squared plus y plus 5 squared is equal to 26. 36. So what is the center of the circle? 2 and negative 5, and the radii 6. You all okay with that? Now what? We draw, we make sense of what's happening. We draw the circle. We have 2 and minus 5. So let's read again. Given the circle, x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 10y equals 7. Tangent PQ touches the circle at P. So let's say it's touching there at P. If Q is 8 and 3, remember the tangent is touching at P. So Q has to be away from P, not so to form the straight line. Determine the length of PQ. Determine the length of PQ. So what do you think we're going to do here? What do you think we're going to do here? Complete a triangle. Okay, so what do we know about this triangle? We have a 90 degrees here, yes. What do they want you to calculate? PQ. So in other words, they want you to calculate that length here. What is the length of this line here? 6. What's your radii? What's the length of CQ? Can we work that out? How? Distance formula. So CQ, the distance thereof is going to be. So work that out for me quickly. Okay, so what do we get? It's going to be negative 2 minus 8 squared plus negative 5 minus 3 squared is equal to, what answer do we get there? Square root of 2 minus 8 squared plus negative 5 minus 3 squared is equal to 10. Okay. So this length here is 10. So how do you think we're going to work out the length of PQ? Pythagoras. So work out Pythagoras quickly. PQ works out to be 18. You all okay with that? Alright. Any confusion here? No? Let's move on to the next question. The next example. Example 5. So on the next page. Okay, so the question says determine the equation of the tangent or tangents to the circle x squared plus y squared is equal to 10 from the point 5 and negative from outside the circle. So what's the center of the circle? The coordinates of the center of the circle? 0 and 0. What's the radius of the circle? Root 10. Okay? So what we have? Circle equation. Not so. If that is root 10, then that's going to be 0 root 10 at the bottom is 0 and minus root 10 and so on. So the tangent is from the point 5 and negative 5 to this point here. Okay. So if you're going to draw a tangent from that point, then the line's going to go through like that. Let's just move this point a bit. Okay. And the other tangent will come from that point as well through here. Then it looks something like that. Okay. Again, let's call this line 1 and line 2. Okay. Yes. So they didn't specify. You see, what is a tangent? That's the question you should be asking yourself. What is a tangent? A tangent is a straight line that touches the circle once. Now if this is a tangent, if this is a line from 5 and minus 3, 5, no? Then what's going to happen here? It is touching once. So it's a tangent at that point. Where else is it touching once? There as well. So that's why I know it's going to have two tangents. Make sense? Alright. So what do we do here? If we draw this line in here, okay, let's draw this line from here through here. Can we determine the equation of that line? Huh? We'll see now how is that going to help us. No? We can determine the equation of that line, not so? Now, we have 2 points and we have the center. Not so? Alright. So if we draw a line from here to there, that's going to be our radius. Not so? Which is going to be stand 90 degrees. Let's call this radius 1, radius 2. Okay? Let's call this point A and B for now. Okay? Let's go with the gradients first. Okay, I said we're going to work out the equation of that line going through the center, but it doesn't look like it's going to help us much. We might come back to it, okay? But I don't just want to look at the memo, but we want to make sense of what's actually happening on the diagram. Okay? So let's work out the gradient. Let's call this P for now. Or it's T, so it's given T. Let's call this T A and B. Okay. So that can make sense of where we're going. So we're going to work out the gradient of R2. The gradient of R2 is going to be change in y but change in x, which is B minus 0 over A minus 0, which is B over A. Let me work out the gradient of line 2. Okay, the gradient of line 2 is going to be B minus minus 5, which is plus 5, over A minus 5. Okay? So the gradient of the first R2 times the gradient of line 2 is equal to negative 1. So B over A times B plus 5 over A minus 5 is equal to negative 1. That's not going to help us. So that's going to give us b squared plus 5b is equal to negative a squared plus 5a. Okay, so The radius are the same, R1, R2. The tangents AT and AB is also the same. So I think we're going to need to go with distance formula. I don't know. Any ideas? Right, let's check what they did. Otherwise we're going to lose a lot of time. So you're saying that they're going with distance formula for this line here? R2 here? And R1. Let's see what they did. Okay, so they called it MN. Alright, we're on the right track there. We took it from the center. No, they didn't even draw that central line there that I drew. I think that was my confusion there. That was confusing me. Okay, so we are told that the 2 points tangents from T as shown in the diagram. N is P and Q. As N is the point of the circle, substitute, right? So you got P in terms of Q. Okay, so let's do what they just did there. So they didn't do this. Okay, so what they said was, since A is on the circle, you'll substitute A, which is A and B, into the circle. If we do that, you're going to get A squared plus B squared is equal to 10. So A is equal to 10 minus B squared, the root thereof. Okay? So now what they have is A in terms of B. Do they go with gradient after that? Just check me. Should have gone with gradient. Yeah, gradient. Alright, so if you work out the gradient of AT, okay, so the gradient of AT is going to be B minus 5, which is plus 5, over A, which is the root of 10 minus B minus 5. Okay, then the gradient of R2, which is OA. The gradient of OA is equal to B minus 0 over A minus 0, which is the root of 10 minus B squared minus 0. So it's B over 10 minus B squared, the root thereof. So since they are perpendicular here, the product of the two gradients is negative 1. So in other words, you got B plus 5 over the square root of 10 minus B squared minus 5 times B over the square root of 10 minus B squared is equal to negative 1, because they're perpendicular. Okay. Sorry about that. So we're going to divide both sides by this fraction here. So it's B plus 5 over the square root of 10 minus B squared minus 5 is equal to negative the root 10 minus B squared over B. That's not going to work. I made another holds up somewhere. If you cross multiply, it's going to be B squared plus 5B equals, that times that's going to give you 10 minus B squared minus 4 root 10 minus B squared going to be 10 minus b squared minus 5 root 10 minus b squared. Okay, the b squared cancels. So it's going to be 5 root 10 minus b squared is equal to 10 minus 5b. Square both, divide by 5. So it's a root 10 minus b squared is equal to 2 minus b. Square both sides. So it's 10 minus b squared is equal to 4 minus 4b plus b squared. It's going to give me 2b squared minus 4b minus 6 equals 0. Work that out. What is b? Okay. 3 and negative 1. Yes, which makes sense basically. 3 would be here, negative 1 would be here. Okay, the corresponding a value. So a is equal to the square root of 10 minus b squared. So I'm going to go with the first one. A is equal to the root of 10 minus 3 squared, which is 9, the root of 1, which is 1. Or we put negative 1 in, is going to be a is equal to 10 minus negative 1 all squared is 10 minus 9. The root thereof is 3. A. So both is cutting in the first quadrant basically. So that point's a bit higher. The tangent is going through there. So your A value is going to be 1 and 3. While your other point is 3. Is that correct? Let's check the answer then. It's negative 3 and is negative 1 and negative 3. I forgot something else here as well. Plus minus. So you're missing I'm missing a plus minus there as well. So in the final answer here, when I go with plus minus, if I square both sides here, when I squared both sides here, the plus and minus falls away in that case. However, when I had to do the substitution, I had to go again plus minus. Okay? So this is going to be plus minus, plus minus. And after some inspection, they said that the solution can only be negative 1 and negative 3. Okay? And then the equation of that tangent, they worked out somehow. Alright? I made so many errors in the sum. I think I must do it again when we do the cumulative exercise. Okay, I will work through the sum again, make sense of it, and then re-explain this. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. All right, coming to the homework. The last example deals with the tangent and the normal. Remember that the normal is a line that is perpendicular to the tangent. Okay, that's going through the center. I mentioned that. And it's not examinable. Okay, so we're not going to calculate the normal. Okay. So of exercise 2, we did number 1 and 2 already. You had to do numbers 3 to 6, 3 to 5. Okay. For homework, I want you guys to do number 6 and of course the revision test topic 9 that we will answer on Tuesday. Number 9, if you had a problem with that, as well as that example that I messed up, and this revision exercise will be answered in one lesson, which is Tuesday. Coming back to the exercise for homework, it's on page 197. Any issues with number 3? Any issues with number 3? Number 4? 4.3. Any other problems on number 4? Number 5? I will have number 5. Okay. Okay, number 4, we are told determine whether the following circle touches each other, intersect or never cross. Intersect means to say cut at 2 points. Not so. Touches means to say touches 1 point. Never crosses, they are apart. Right, you guys understand? Right. So, first things first, we need to write this circle in the form of x minus a squared plus y minus b squared equal to r squared. We must do that for both. So we got x squared plus 4x plus a number plus y squared plus 2y plus a number equals 4 plus the first number plus the second number. So what is going to be the number we're going to add here? In the first case, it's going to be 2 squared, which is 4. And the second number is 1 squared, which is 1. So this here is going to be x plus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to 9. Not so. So with the first circle, the center of the circle would be, let's call this A for now. It's going to be negative 2 and negative 1. What's the radius of the circle? R1 is 3. Let's go with the second circle. And take this up. So you're going to get x squared minus 4x plus a number plus y squared is equal to So what's going to be the first number that we're going to add here? There's only one number. It's 2 squared, which is 4. This is your perfect square trinomial. That's already a perfect square. So what do we get? X minus 2 squared plus y squared is equal to 4. So what is the center of the second circle? 2 and 0. What's the radius of the circle? 2. So if the radius 1 plus the radius 2 is equal to the distance AB, it touches 1. Okay? If the radius is greater than the distance between the two centers, then they cut twice, intersect each other. That's all. So R1 let's put this here. So R1 plus R2 is equal to, what's R1 plus R2? 5. 2 plus 3. How do we calculate the distance between the two centers? Distance formula. So AB is equal to the square root of minus 2 squared plus minus 1 minus 0 squared. So that's going to give us 4. Square root of 4 is, as 4 squared is 16. That's 1 is 17. So that's the root of 17. Sorry? Is this 9 here? Okay. So some have 0 and some have 9. Huh? You have 9. So you got the new textbook. Okay, so 0 in the old textbook. No? Some of you have 0. Who has 0? Okay, so you'll do both then, okay? So what you notice here is that if that is the case, then the distance AB, you see the root of 17 is 4 comma something. 4 comma what? The root of 17? 4 comma 1, 2. Okay? So that means to say that since R1 plus R2 is more than no 5 is more than 4 comma 1, 2, which is AB. So what does that mean? Therefore the circle cross each other twice. Two times or twice. Okay. If that is 9, then we have the scenario here of x minus 2 squared plus y squared is equal to 13. So that's going to be the square root of 13 for that radius. Did you guys get the root of 13? Huh? Yes. So what's the center of the circle? Still 2 and 0. So radius 1 plus radius 2 is equal to 3 plus the root of 13. What would that give us in decimal? 6.61. Then for AB's distance is going to be the square root of minus 2 squared plus minus 1 minus 0 squared, which again 13. No, 4, 8, 9. No. It's 4. It's 9. Root 17. Yeah, root 17. Which is 4 4, comma 1. So what do you notice here? R1 plus R2 is still greater than the root AB. Not so. So therefore, the circle touches each other. Yes. Does that come here? Yes. Sorry? The 13. You didn't get 13. What did you get? So the sum read now. Your sum in your book reads x squared minus 4x plus y squared equals 9. Is that what your book reads? Now why didn't you tell me at the beginning? Plus 2y. Alright, so that's the equation. The second circle should read x squared minus 4x plus a number plus y squared plus 2y plus a number equals 9 plus the first number plus the second number. That's all. There are 2y here. Plus or minus. Now where you get the 2y from? Is there a third textbook?
But there is a 2y.
Where? There's a 2y in the first equation.
Yes, sir. And then
So is this where the 9 belongs?
Yeah, my 9 is on the first equation. So I think I made a mistake.
Now check, let's before we end the video, we won't go into question 5, we will do question 5 with the video of the revision exercise. What is the equation here? Just give me a minute, no? Yes?
So it is like that actually.
So it's like it. So the answer in the textbook says it crosses each other twice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At least you got one sum right today. No? People enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning, class. So number 5 we will answer with the next video. And I will redo this question for you, okay? Sorry about that once again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning, class. Did I give you homework?
Yes, sir.
What? Huh? The revision exercise. And number 6, okay.